I knew I would mess up. Good evening. Welcome. I knew I would mess up. We was trying something new. Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott.
And Mr. O'Neill.
We hope and trust that you all have had a great day today. Dana Hudson, you're first to say hello. Good evening to you. Love you big time. You are one of our faithfuls, and we gratefully appreciate you for that. And we both love you big time. Uh, Toby and I have some some stories for you tonight that we're gonna. I'm sure you're gonna find all of them very interesting and stuff. But yes, we are going to be discussing our great friend, the self-proclaimed Piper himself, R.Kelly. Toby's been digging. I've been digging. The media's been digging. We all been digging, to find out who in the hell is R.Kelly. Angela Jackson, good evening to you, and welcome to our live broadcast. Before we get to any of that, I want to quickly go to Shreveport, Louisiana. Tell you about a Shreveport police officer that has been arrested. A former Shreveport police officer was arrested and placed on administrative leave Wednesday after being formally indicted on a rape charge. The Cattle Parish grand jury returned a true bill Wednesday charging 33-year-old Leroy Bates Jr. with third-degree rape in connection with an incident on Saturday, July the 11th, 2020. I didn't get time to check this evening, but when he was booked into the Cattle Correctional Center, he was being held on a $250,000 bond. So I don't know if he has been released or not. So just thought we would share that with you all. Being a police officer, I consider that to be that's an honor. It's a dangerous job, Toby, but it's an honor when you qualified to put that badge on your chest. And
it should be.
Yeah, but when you disgrace it, I just have no respect for you. Now, mind you, as they saying about R.Kelly, Toby, everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
Oh yes, he is. And he mentioned on social media or something. He was allegedly posted on social media that he was innocent. So he's innocent until proven guilty. But just like we say, in that case, in many other cases, when it's dealing with police, all police, not just him in particular, all police, like you said, that's an honorable position to serve and protect, and everybody that takes that position, that's an honor position, and it's held to a high standard.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Quickly, Miss Renfrey, I saw your name up here somewhere tonight. I think it was last night, or no, we weren't on last night. Night before, you left a message that you were watching us on your job. I applaud you for that. I love you big time. That you would steal time to come and listen to me and my nephew. I know you've been with us since day one, and I gratefully appreciate you for doing that. And I'm sure Toby does.
That's an honor. That's an honor.
So, okay, Miss Davis, good evening to you. Sonia is here tonight as well. Consuela Johnson, good evening to you. Okay, we have that out the way before we get to COVID-19 in the state of Louisiana. Here's what the Governor John Bell Edwards said earlier today. The first 2 weeks of school, there has been 5,328 positive cases of COVID among students and 750 cases among school staff members. On an average, that's roughly around 94 cases per parish. Toby knows how I feel. I know how he feels about the vaccines and the mask and stuff. And we never try to push our beliefs off on anyone. We just tell you the way we see it. I have not taken the vaccine. I will not take the vaccine. But I think you should mask up. I do think you should do that. And if there's a place that you're trying to go to and you can't go in unless you have a mask, well, you have to respect that company and not go in there. That's just like somebody's home, So if you don't want to wear the mask, nobody can make you wear it. But be mindful now. I believe soon we're going back on lockdown. It's coming, whether we want it or not. It's coming.
It's already in the works because, we not accepting the fact that they don't know what they're dealing with, You know what I'm saying? And they don't know how to deal with it. If you don't know what you're dealing with, really, you don't know how to deal with it. They rush to, just like we know. The reason why we're not taking the vaccine is because we know it was a rush job to get the vaccine. And then we also know that people that have taken the vaccine are still getting the virus. So it's not working. But the thing about it is, like, I see it with us especially. I'll say with my people, because honestly, I've been wearing a mask since they started, and I'll wear one, forever. I'm okay. I don't need nobody looking in my face like that anyway. I'm comfortable. So, but I see, like, we are the people that we don't wear them now, and we got relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Our kids, and it's like, I said it from the start. Luckily, you know what I'm saying, my son that's, in school age, he don't go to school. But, like, kids can't be trusted to wear a mask like that. I have a 7-year-old. He can't be trusted to go to school all day and keep a mask on all day.
Exactly.
That's impossible. That's not on the teacher. That's not on the parent. That's not on anybody. Like, that's just a child. You can't trust a child to keep a mask on all day, every day. It's not going to happen. So that was a whole misstep in sending them back to school in the first place. Like,
I totally agree with that. They shouldn't have went back. Miss Watts says at Mr. Scott and nephew Toby, Walmart in East Texas has closed doors due to the rapid spread of COVID. Even the children in the schools, people are not wearing masks.
Exactly. But think about it. The main thing about that, is, do you see these people running around fighting the CDC for trying to make the mask mandatory? So you have parents that are telling their kids, or showing their kids that I don't want you to have to wear a mask. You should be able to not wear a mask if you want to. So, the parents not taking it serious. The kids are not going to take it serious. And those are some of the same, even though our parents around us might not be as outward as those parents, the parents locally, there are parents locally that feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we don't know what are we sending our kids into when we send them anywhere.
Exactly. What you're saying, it reminds me of when my daughter was very young, and I don't do holidays. Everybody know that now. But one thing I never did, I never pushed off my beliefs on my daughter.
Exactly.
As a child. Now, I told her, why Daddy don't do this and Daddy don't do that. You have to make up your own mind.
Exactly.
And so, but we don't buy gifts here. But so during Christmas, she would go and visit my sisters or her other side, where they're going to exchange gifts. And I'm okay with that.
My son, the same way.
Exactly. But talking about the children and the parents and stuff. So that was an excellent point that you made. That's a bad example that the parents are setting for their children.
Because, like, I get a choice. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, I get a choice. But if it's something like that, if you take it serious, if there's any chance that this is really going on, like, I would rather with my child, regardless of the choice I make, I would rather try to do everything in my power to protect my child. Like,
exactly.
That's a different level. Yeah.
That's a parent's duty to protect the child by any means necessary. Exactly. We discussed that earlier. Miss Louise says, hello, Mr. Scott and nephew. Love you big time. Thank you so much.
Hello, Miss Louise. Hello, everybody.
Cool by Jay. Good evening to you. Patricia, my good friend. Good evening to you as well. Okay, quickly, and then we're going to get into tonight's topic. The other day, outside of the Capitol, I think it was yesterday, I'm not sure, so much is going on. There was a bomb threat. There was an individual, white, inside of a truck, holding his cell phone out, telling him, go get the people. Go get the people. I got a bomb. I'm finna blow it up. I'm finna blow up. The only way I won't blow up is President Joe Biden resigns right now. Well, you know what? That's a fool with a serious problem. That shit wasn't gonna happen. That shit wasn't gonna happen. That shit wasn't. And he looked super stupid. And in the truck, it was filthy, by the way. He got coins and shit. If you finna blow your damn self up, you could have left the money with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Here's what's going on. These are Donald Duck's dummies. Okay, you can find some of these that probably got something close to nothing, and give them $1,000. They'll go out there on that kamikaze mission and look super damn stupid while Trump's still sitting up in the office somewhere. I mean, it is pathetic. And something you said earlier about who's not doing it, I want you to say that tonight too. Who's not really doing this, who you'd expect to be doing it, but they're not doing it. These are some deranged lunatics. But what really bothers me other than that is where we're trying to figure out what charge to give it. I don't know, terrorists, you terrorizing us? I don't know. It's a threat. But they'll come out and say he has a mental issue. And so that's how we're going to deal with it. Mm-hmm. I mean, so nothing has changed, you know, but there's nothing you all can do if some of y'all are listening. I don't think a lot of prejudiced white folks won't listen to us. But if you are listening, y'all can stop that campaign. President Joe Biden is not coming out of that office until he either dies or the election is over or his term is up. That's it. That's it. So y'all are out there on a fool's errand, and Donald Duck sitting back there laughing at y'all. Y'all can't be that damn stupid. You got to have your own self-mind. What you doing does not have nothing to do with democracy. What you doing is trying to overthrow democracy. But when you interrupt that operation in government throughout the United States, everything is put on hold. Everything is shut down. We're on high alert for absolutely nothing. I don't know what y'all been drinking or whatever Trump sends y'all or whatever, but y'all some fools with some serious problems, and they're all right. Y'all are some damn mental patients. Toby, I'm gonna give it to you.
I agree with you 100%. But I want to say this: like, I'm not a big politician. People know me know I'm not political. I believe in the vote, but I don't believe in those political parties and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But that's just my personal views. But I will say this about the people who taking a shot at Joe about what's going on in Afghanistan. Like, for the people that really understand politics, you have to understand that wasn't Joe fight. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't Joe fight. That war took place from way back when in the Bush administration. They sent people over there and started that war. And for Joe at this point right here, just coming in office, dealing with the pandemic that he's dealing with as a president in the United States right now, like with all of that going on, and the way it happened in Afghanistan, which just like we talked about the other day, mm-hmm. I really believe that those people laid back and they got their plan together. They knew exactly what America had going on over there. So when they made their attack, they was ready to take down everything and everybody over there. Exactly. But I saw a report that said Joe Biden said that the White House or whatever was in contact with the Taliban leadership while they were evacuating. So if anything else, I don't care how people look at it, but personally, I think people need to give Joe a lot of credit because I think Joe saved a lot of lives with that move he made because they had got comfortable over there. All those U.S. citizens, the little soldiers and everything, they had got too comfortable. And by the Taliban losing like they lost on their land, for them to come back now, right now, like they came back with the limited amount of soldiers that they had over there and all of the civilians that they had over there, mm-hmm. I'm still hoping they got all the U.S. civilians out. And we'll find that out later. But for Joe to make a split-second decision whenever he got that intel that they was coming down on them like that to say, okay, we're not going to risk the confrontation or we're going to try to get our people and get out. I think he saved a lot of lives with that. No matter what his next move is. Any other move, then, hey, let's go ahead and evacuate now. I think it would have been a lot of lives lost. I don't think that would have went well.
Toby, you know what? With everything you just said, I have to agree with it because this is something that President Joe Biden didn't start.
No.
And not only that, I don't care if they stayed there 20 years, 30 years, or 50 years. It doesn't matter what administration pulled them out. This was going to happen. We knew this. You may not can predict the time and date, but you know how they're going to act. And President Joe Biden said, it is basically, I'm paraphrasing, it's senseless for our men and women to be over there fighting, and they're not helping. They're not doing anything. So
because as long as they've been over there, think about it. Because they went over there to train and to get them people ready to fight for themselves and protect themselves. Think about it. Think about that. Now, they've been over here all this time. Remember that. They were training. They were doing all of that. Now, think about how long that's been. That's been through the Trump administration. And, that's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a minute. So just like I said, how long does it take to train these people to stand on their own against the people that they've been fighting against basically forever? And just like I said, they never knew when this was going to happen. We didn't predict when it was going to. They might have had intelligence. They said they had intelligence on 9/11. Look what happened. So they can't predict. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not telling everybody when they're going to attack. The Taliban is not putting that out there when they're going to move. But just like I said, at this point in time, with America and Joe Biden dealing with what he's dealing with in this country, it was either make a decision to try to save my people that's over there and not get involved with that, or leave my people there to fight, lose lives, and have to send more people over there for reinforcements and have to go to war in a time where people in my country is dying.
You just nailed it.
I'm just saying, like, we talk about presidents and their decisions, just like we talked about before with Clinton. Think about it. With this situation right here, he deserved a little cap, and I ain't fronting. That's why I say presidents deserve a little cap. They make some stressful decisions.
Exactly.
And Joe Biden, that was a stressful decision, but I feel like it was the best decision.
Yeah, it was, and I'm sure he thought long and hard on it. I'm sure he listened to his intelligence, and he made the decision he thought would be best. So I mean, it's never really hard to make a decision. It's sometimes just hard to live with it. But for those that have been beating him up, I applaud him because he's been standing his ground. Even when he did the interview, I think with George Stephanopoulos, said, "No, I didn't do anything wrong. I made the best decision." Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, Toby, as you just said, we don't know everything that he was told or seen or knew to get him to that point.
I know one thing though. I know they say, think about it. Just like you said earlier, you said and this allegedly. And remember, we talked about it the other day, that when you said why the people was fighting so hard and hanging from the plane to try to get away from there.
Come on.
Now it's been said that they're going door to door, and any U.S. supporters that they find, they're hanging them.
That's bad. That's bad. Sad and scary. We talked about the two individuals that was up under the plane holding on to whatever they were holding on, and one of the guys that was killed, 17 years old. Mm-hmm. And I remember asking you, what the hell do they do to them, in a comical way, but I'm still serious, to make them want to risk going up 30 or 40,000 feet in the air outside of the damn plane? Yep. And then today they showed T Sizzle, good evening to you and welcome. They showed I think it was a mother throwing a baby. He looked to be 3, 4, maybe 5 months, give or take, over a barbed wire fence to an American soldier, hoping the baby is caught. And to God be the glory, the child was. So, I mean, you can just visualize it gets even to say extremely bad would be an understatement. You'll go, I'll die. And that's what parents do, And then you told me today about the hangings, and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it.
And that's why I said that, but I can understand people because they traitors. They traitors. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing that the U.S. would do. They would round up anybody that supported them and work with them and help them, to set up something new, what they would like, you're going against everything we believe in, working with them. So exactly. Like I knew, and think about it, just like we know, when American soldiers were getting caught over there, when they were in the last war, they were beheading people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. It wasn't anybody that was caught that was U.S. or like anybody that was caught or supporting, like your life was at risk. And that's why I say he could have made a different decision. But I think, just like I said, I think it would have turned out bad because people wouldn't have understood how those soldiers got ambushed. And think about it, like the U.S. total, the armed forces and everything is dealing with COVID. So what you got to send people to another country to fight a war right now? Like, no, that wasn't that was like I like to say, that was the executive decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
he
and
called
so
that.
yeah, I'm in agreement with his decision. You know, and you know it's just like if you're married, you and your wife are not going to agree on everything. Some things you just disagree on. But is that reason to file divorce? No, it's not. Everybody has their own opinion, their own mind. You know, you may not like some decisions, but some decisions we have to live with.
Executive decisions. That's why I said executive decisions.
Mm-hmm.
As the man, sometimes you have to be the authority to make an executive decision.
Yes.
And even when she don't like you, you know, she gonna put her face on and she gonna smile and she gonna go out there and stand beside you and she gonna hold you down because it's like, okay, I didn't agree with it, but if he feel that that's best, like we gonna support and we gonna rock.
That's it. That's
that's why I say with him, he did that.
He did, and I just think that he's been criticized too much for what he did, and but as you said, it was an executive decision. He was damned if he do, damned if he don't.
Exactly. Hey, did you do another thing? Did you have the lady name about the what was it? The Gofundme case?
Which one told me?
The Gofundme case with the lady that said that the girls were hers and they wasn't hers. In the Gofundme case.
The one on that was on CNN?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't. But
we'll talk about it later. I wanted to that I couldn't remember the name, but that case stuck with me.
Yeah. Did you see that the information came out yesterday?
About the lady wanted to sue. The kid's mother wanted to sue her.
This is about the girl that was getting evicted?
Yes.
Okay.
And now the mother, the mother of the kids is suing her for the money, you know, from the GoFundMe.
Exactly. Yeah, that's her. She incidentally, I forgot to tell you, I hadn't been here today. That's what we were going to get into. What's today? Friday?
Well, I don't even know. I lost track of days.
Yeah, I did too. So maybe tomorrow night we'll do it. If it's Saturday,
okay.
I think. Okay. If you're not busy, we can still do something on her tomorrow. But yeah, I forgot about it seriously. So
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
I saw that, you know, and I hate when things like that happen, because sometimes, with all due respect, some Black people make it so hard to defend them, you know. When I first saw the story and they was talking to her, I sat here and cried because I felt so bad for her. And then as they was telling her about the money that was coming in, and oh thank you, that was her time right there. And said, but let me be honest, these are not mine or whatever, you know.
But see, the thing about it, is like I looked at the story, and that, like I said, that's a deeper story, and that's why it caught my attention, because you think about it, like she said, you know what I'm saying, those are the kids. She keep those kids extended periods of time, and you know, like I've been in the situation, you know what I'm saying, like that, and it's like, where were the mother and the father during this time? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they said, well, they've been with me for extended period of time. You know what I'm saying? And then, just like I said, like, I don't agree. I agree that she shouldn't get all the money because but she didn't ask for all of this. She asked for money to pay her rent and get caught up with her rent. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. But like, for the mom to come and like, why would you want to sue her for the money?
Yeah.
Why would you want to come and sue her for the money? It's just all of a sudden became about the money, but you wasn't around when she needed help.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. And the kids with her. The kids with her.
You know what? You are making a great point there, especially about the money. I mean, well, hell, I mean, and some kids are with the babysitter or another relative more than they are with the parents.
And that's what we don't know. That's what I'm saying right there, because she say, no, they called, when the lady was there, she said they called her mom. You know what I'm saying? And like I know situations like that where they, you know, back and forth, and it's a girlfriend or whatever. I know those situations. So who's to say she wasn't really in a strain and she really needed it? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know where the dad was. We don't know where the mom. Then the mom says she still haven't said, well, my kids been with me. If she had came and said, no, they just went over there for the weekend and my kids are with me. They, you know what I'm saying? But like, she hasn't denied that the girl keeps the kids for extended periods of time. So,
and that's a very as you just said, it's deeper than some people.
We don't, and that's why I was saying, like, we ain't enough information, but that stayed with me because, like, I could understand, hey, she was using my kids and I don't like that, but you come in and say you're gonna sue for the money.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know her situation. Her situation might be worse than the girls since she's trying to get the money. Exactly. You know, they might have been good. Yeah, they might have been better with the girl.
I saw the girl and I saw the kids. I didn't see who said she's the biological mother. You know, so that weighs heavy with me. Should she have to give up all the money? Hell no. And should it be 50-50 from what I know now? No, no 50-50. No. You don't keep your own damn children. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then for her to be in that strain right there, if the kid's dad know and the kid's mom know, why do you have your kids over there in that situation if she's behind and struggling?
Exactly. I'm gonna give a comment because I haven't read the whole thing yet. Louise Royal says she is dating the girl's father.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
And where I come from Texas. So if she been dating him long enough, they common law married, and that is her kids. So I'm just saying, like, and then we come from a family that don't step on kids. So if that's my girlfriend at the time and my kids there, like, I don't tell my kids to call her mom because but is that if she take care of them like they her kids.
Exactly.
Why they with her.
Yeah, hopefully maybe we'll try tomorrow to see if we can contact her and get some information from her. Miss Watts says, thumbs up family for our host. Thank you in advance. You are appreciated. We love you. Thank you so much. Patricia wants you to know, Toby.
It's Friday. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. I lost that. I lost the day.
He's having
hard work. I'll be losing days.
That's me. And you know what? It's happening a lot lately. And so anyway, let's get on with tonight's show so we can ease up out of here and get the bodyguards to come and get us so they can walk us out the door and stuff because
I got mine standing off camera. They waiting to escort me to the car.
I'm ready.
Don't be mad, yeah.
I got two right there. Yeah, we may end early tonight. There was a little girl. I'm gonna say a little girl. Some years ago, I think the little girl was 15 years old. And it's that same little girl who sat inside of a courtroom. She skipped classes, sophomore, to attend the R.Kelly's trial. She loved him. She idolized him. She worshiped him. I cannot believe I'm so close to R.Kelly. I can almost touch the hem of his garment. Yes, sir. And so eventually, she got to touch more than the hem of his garment. Before we get started, I'm going to dedicate tonight's show to the young lady who disagreed the other night and told me that little girl was a woman when she met R. Kelly. She may have had a woman's body, but she was a child. She was a child, and her first sexual encounter with R. Kelly was when she was 16 years old. Now, if I'm lying behind Pace because this is the witness, prosecutor's first call to the stand to talk about her relationship, her sexual relationship with R. Kelly. And I know Toby's about to get extremely deep with you all, but let me just say this. It was in 2008 when she was 15 years old, a sophomore from Chicago's south suburbs who cut class every day to attend the R.Kelly trial when he was indicted on 14 counts of making child pornography. The R&B superstar had no bigger fan than her at that time. She's now 24 years old. She is a mother of three. And here's what she told BuzzFeed News after the trial. When she was 16 years old, she became one of many women traumatized by a sexual relationship with Kelly. Her details and well documented story of accepting cash settlements from the start in return for signing a non disclosure agreement. And she did that. Here's what she also did, because they was going to call her a lie. They was going to call every name but the name on the birth certificate. They said she's just a groupie. She was hot. She wanted him. Okay, that might be true. But to make sure she wasn't lying, they had her to take a lie detector test. BuzzFeed News got access to those workers as to whether or not she passed or failed. Well, they said she passed with flying colors. Everything she said was the gospel. And I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna give it to my nephew Toby. And what you do, brother?
I'm gonna say what I told you before when I first read the court documents. I'm gonna tell you what I said today when I read the update on the trial and everything that they were gonna present at the trial as far as evidence. I'm gonna say the same thing I said both times. He watched. He watched. Like I told you today, he literally turned the wash on, put some detergent in there, hopped over in there, and pulled the lid down. He watched himself. Because the worst thing you could do, and that's why I tell people all the time, when people make accusations, I can just look at the act, because like I tell you, I've been in that criminal lifestyle. So I know the court documents. I know how the case has to come together. I know all the evidence, the circumstantial evidence, and how it has to come together and play. And just like I told you, when they set up the trial the way they set up to make it an organized thing, it was one and done. And just like I said, like with what the people say, corroborate enough documents, enough, just like you said, travel plans, ticket information, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff. And then the most killer, and like I said, this is allegedly, but I read where they're going to present, since you brought up the young lady that was at the courthouse step, I don't know if she's involved, but just like I told you, it goes back to me saying, when he walked out of that courtroom, he beat the system. He paid, he won, he beat the system. We know that. But he felt like he was untouchable because these people are making claims that after he beat the 2008 trial, he made more videos with underage girls. And they allegedly have the videos that they're going to present. And then, like you said, allegedly this guy, personal physician, for 20-something years testified that this man has a sexually transmitted disease. And these girls have been alleging forever that this man gave them sexually transmitted diseases. Remember, we jumped on Usher because the lady said Usher gave us, like, we jumped on Usher about that. And everybody bought into that story. Even that girl recanted her story and disappeared. And nobody said nothing. Nobody really gave Usher a pass to say, hey, man, my bad. We believe it. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Like, again, like I say, too much circumstantial evidence.
You know what? I like that. Yeah, when you said too much
evidence. Yes.
Evidence. Ms. Watt says, yes, one and done. Everybody ain't lying. He felt untouchable, and that's it. And what really irks me is what you just brought up, and nobody wants to touch that unless they want to lie about the girl's age. Before he left the courthouse grounds, he committed another crime.
That's like amazing, and that's why I say, like, that just shows you really, like, the Pied Piper. That's why I brought that up, because I pulled the wool over y'all eyes.
That's him.
Like I pulled the wool. Like when he walked out of that courtroom, it was just like I pulled the wool over y'all eyes. Like y'all not gonna convict me. Like people love me too much. You know what I'm saying? This is the third to even hold me accountable for what I'm doing. So it's like that's that.
I got him. You know,
he turned it up. Yeah, he turned it up. It's like he turned it up. I don't know, but they making it seem like that. They claiming they have documentation to prove that he turned it up, instead of, like I was saying, if you didn't do it, or even if you did, like that was too close. Let me sit down somewhere. If I've been on that criminal side, into that criminal element, and once they slam me and put me on trial, like just like I said, it ain't nowhere in the world. That's just like getting out, going to McDonald's would have been like just getting out, leaving court, going to the weed house. Like I could get pulled over leaving the weed house and be right back in jail.
Exactly.
Like, no. But you went right back, and like everything was cool.
Right. So that shows who R.Kelly is and how he feel about the system and his victims. Because I remember when we did this one night, someone said, "Oh, so R.Kelly can't go to McDonald's." Well, then you don't know the story. Or if you do, you're not looking at. A lot of people keep speaking out off of their emotions. They're in love with him. They think he's wonderful. He is wonderful in his field of music. He's ace. He's a genius. He knows his shit. But you got to get past that. You got to get out your feeling, because what you feel and what the law said is not related. So you just brought up circumstantial evidence. A lot of prosecutors don't like to go to court with circumstantial evidence, but they know they can win. But a lot of them don't want to take that gamble. But it's so much circumstantial evidence against R. Kelly. It's just a matter of when the jury get the damn case and go ahead and sentence him, because he'll never be free again. This young lady alleges that he gave her herpes. I don't have herpes. Well, that's a lie, because his doctor said he's been had herpes since 2007, I think. The little boy he had sex with, he gave me herpes. So, I mean, for you all, for those that defend R. Kelly, try to defend R. Kelly on the facts.
That's how we can talk about. I'm not going with nobody. You know what I'm saying? On they lied. Yeah, that might be true. Somebody might have lied, but then look at the evidence. That's why they went back to Aaliyah, because we have documentation. Think about it. We have this guy's signature. This guy's signature is one of the most famous signatures in the world. We have this guy's signature. You know what I'm saying? And think about it. If you get married, you got to show document. Like, we got this guy's signature on this documentation. We have people, like putting this, like, it's too much circumstantial. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I know one thing, just like I said, even if you did beat the case, you can never come around my kids. I would never, trust you around my kids. I just say that.
That thought is there. And keep in mind, a lot of times when somebody is acquitted, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not guilty.
Yep.
Sometimes
and vice versa. When they find guilty and they're not really guilty. But
exactly.
In my opinion, this guy's guilty. Like,
doubt,
and honest and truly, like, I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying, in a sense, but the feds got it, and they tried it to the point where it's like a guaranteed W. And everybody know I ain't capping on the man or speaking on his time, but they got a success rate that's out of this world. That's just what that is. And then they built the case over time. They built the case over time. It wasn't just one incident.
Exactly. And the feds reach is always longer than the state.
Exactly. And that's why I said that's almost a slam dunk. They would have just brought in there and put all the evidence on the table. I don't think they would have had to do nothing else.
I don't either. And so, I mean, I like R. Kelly. I think his music is wonderful. Someone said, so she is the dad's girlfriend. Oh, she's the lady. Okay, thank you. So let's go back to when it first got started, when he got the first 15 indictments in Chicago, which started a new trial for Kelly. I hated it for him. I couldn't say that they were lying on him or they were telling the truth, but I hated it for him because of who he is. And I like his music. I actually felt bad for him. Several nights I cried for R. Like, I just can't believe, because I remember when he turned himself in and he had that blue jacket on that night. And when he came out, he had the face of not the face of a man. His facial expression was that of a little boy that had been caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and he was going to see mama.
Mm-hmm.
And when he walked in that jail, they handcuffed him first, which I don't think they had to do that. That was just humiliation. He was right there. They could have just escorted him in. When he walked in there, he still didn't know if he would ever see freedom again off that one arrest. But he did what they told him to do. So, and that was the right thing to do. He was never late. Whenever they said show up, R.Kelly showed up. But we also have to realize one thing. We can't look at this like some parents do their children. I know my child. My child wouldn't do that. No, you know your child from a child's perspective. But when they leave that door, there's a different hat that they put on their mom and dad that don't know about. Mm-hmm. As you keep saying, there's so much circumstantial evidence against Kelly. I mean, he can't be nothing but guilty. I mean, the physician has been treating him for what, 25 years? Mm-hmm. And so they got
20. So it's yep. But see, just like I said, think about it. Like I said, I didn't form an opinion because just like I said, back then, my mind, that's why I speak on the mind frame of a lot of people. Back then, you know what I'm saying? I knew, accepted it was happening, but I also knew that's how the system worked. That's how the industry worked. And the people around him, you know, everybody was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing about it was, just like I said, when he went to trial the first time, like I said, I know he was guilty. It wasn't no doubt in my mind he was guilty. But just like I said, when it first came, I said, now they finna drag him through the mud because that's how the system want to do it. Like, we don't, just like I said, people, this to the person that spoke about us dragging, drag black people, like, don't put the rope around your neck and then give somebody the rope and then complain about them dragging you.
Come on.
That's like that should be out with us as individuals, as humans, especially black people, when it comes to doing stuff that put us in contact with the system. We already know they're not gonna play with us. We already know they're gonna try to hang us out to dry. So my biggest thing about it when everything came out was like, if you are knowingly doing this stuff that you know is wrong, that's just like, to be, I'm gonna give it to you like this. It's like now when I see everybody these days with their cell phones out, recording fights or recording people selling drugs or recording people smoking weed. Where I come from, in my era, that's snitching. Don't turn no camera on me when I'm doing nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so I would never turn the camera on myself to put myself in a situation where, you know, it's like, no, that's circumstantial evidence. If you commit a crime, you are not recording yourself committing a crime.
Exactly.
You are not doing that. If I'm controlling somebody, you know what I'm saying? If that's just like what he doing. If you in the drug game and you gotta set somebody straight and you grab them up off the street and take them somewhere to beat them up, you're not gonna have a camera on you while you doing it, man.
Exactly.
Because you know this is gonna incriminate me. This is, you know what I'm saying, gonna probably come back later. We watched, you know what I'm saying, Menace to Society. We saw how the tape went around. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And exactly. Like, why would you make a tape? Why would you make tapes? You know, like, it's like, dude. And then like we just like, okay, just disregard the tapes. We gonna
exactly.
And the guy say, okay, well, we gonna. And I know it was a motion that the tapes not in the evidence. Why? 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 We want to find out the truth. Like, he made them. Why would he?
If they're not damaging to him, why?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's
right.
Like, it's just like the documents that you had to sign. If you say, hey man, if I do go and say, hey, look, I'm gonna pay you this money, so I'm gonna beat you up. So I won't for beating you up. I don't want you to go to court, you know what I'm saying? Because I beat you up. I'm gonna pay you this money, man, and go on about your business. I'm not gonna tell the man, here, sign this agreement saying I didn't beat you up before I give you the money. I don't want no paper trail that I like. It's just not.
Look,
that's just not how you operate in the criminal element. So he was out his element. He was out his element, man. And just like a dope dealer, in the same situation, they make all them bad choices and decisions. Like, they gonna watch you. You had a nice little run. You had a nice little run. I hope it was fun for you. But now, hey man, like they said, the Pied Piper, you're gonna have to pay the piper.
That's it.
It's time to pay the piper, man.
R.Kelly made his bed, so it's time for him to lay down in it and stuff.
The world that R.Kelly made, for real. That's like we just speaking on it. Because it's out there now. Like I knew it was going on back then, but like it wasn't enough information that it is now. Like I can talk about it now because this is lots of information.
It is. And look, the half of it ain't came out yet. Incidentally, before I forget, let me see if I find that quote. Today, R. Kelly's defense attorney, I don't have it, but basically they were told not to tweet, not to use their phones. No public will be allowed. So R. Kelly defense attorney was caught in the courtroom texting. And basically, I think it was a media outlet he was testing it, and he said something to the extent about they haven't heard the truth yet or something like that. So the judge asked the attorney, "Didn't I tell you not to do that?" I mean, so you're already violating this stuff. I mean, we want to get the information out there to get to the public, to let the public know they lying on R. Kelly. They're not lying on R. Kelly. R. Kelly and his people have signed documents because he took her pussy and he took her ass. If he didn't take it, why they signing it and why they sending money out to the people? R. Kelly walked around with collateral in his back pocket on what you just said, a fucking tape. That's just super stupid. He gets the super stupid award, not of the year, of the fucking decade. Because that's just like turning state on your damn self. And then you want people to see you've done no wrong.
You got to protect. You've
done no wrong.
You got to protect the dope.
This. Exactly.
You got to put the dope up so nobody can't get to it. You walk around with the dope in your pocket, you're gonna get busted
all day long. And then, but here's what you're gonna ask when you get busted: who set me up?
That's it. Somebody snitched on me.
That's it. Now watch what Pace said, and they were talking about Pace's story, and that she is the fourth member of Kelly's circle to tell BuzzFeed News that the star mentally and physically abuses the women closest to him. Kelly has faced similar allegations for years. In 2005, for example, his wife, Andrea Lee, filed an order of protection in Cook County Circuit Court, alleging that her husband, R. Kelly, had slapped her and hit her. And later, she dropped the charges. Pace's story is different than previously reported accounts because she was underage. This is the girl in the courtroom now. Mm-hmm. She was underage when she and Kelly began a sexual relationship. Pace says she is talking now and breaking a signed non-disclosure agreement because she is concerned about women still living with Kelly in what police have been told is an abusive cult. Pace says, in particular, I am concerned about a friend that I brought into R. Kelly's circle when that friend was a teenager.
But I will say this. I don't think if you took money and signed a non-disclosure agreement, you should be able to come back and testify. That's double jeopardy. Like you took the money and you get to come and testify. Like
and so but we know why. Yeah, they are. So we know we're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay you. I know Kelly and paid you. We're gonna pay you double. We want it, and they're gonna come back and do that. But agreements like this, you said it the other night. Why are you signing them, and you're not guilty?
Exactly.
But even if you're guilty, most thugs and criminals are not gonna sign no shit like that.
We not signing nothing. I don't want you to sign nothing to say nothing about me. That's proof to me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like like I said, I wouldn't even want my people dealing with you because just like I said, look at it now. That's a Fed case. You know what I'm saying? That's a Fed case. Just dealing with something like that, dealing with somebody who's doing something wrong could get you caught up. And just I said, the circumstantial. I don't know. To the fans, And just like I see somebody commented, there was a lot of tapes. Like, think about that. Honestly, when it first came out, all the tapes, I thought dude was selling tapes or something. Like he was making tapes for somebody else. I went conspiracy. Like, is dude got child predators or something that like these tapes, that because he doing particular stuff. He peeing on people. He got people boo-booing in jars. Like, that's freak stuff. But like, think about it. Like, if he's not selling it to nobody or distributing it, you just got a lot of tapes. You super perv. You super perv. Like, why? I'm just saying, like, you wanted to relive it. You sitting up in there just like, come on now. Like, we got to be real. We got to be real. Like, they found all this paraphernalia and pervertivity.
And you're not guilty.
He just hoarded it. He just taking videos and hoarding videos. And it's like, you catch me with the whole stash. And it's like, hey, man, I filed a motion to get the tapes not admitted. Like, no, my God. Like, them yours. Like, this you.
Yeah. No, that ain't mine.
The R.Kelly collection. Like, that man, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's more talked about now than the music. The R.Kelly tape.
Exactly. Someone just brought up his songs, and I totally agree. In a lot of songs, and we talk about it a lot, R.Kelly told you who he was.
We said the other day when he said, my mind telling me no, but my body telling me yeah. He should have listened to his mind. He should have listened to his mind. Like, we tell Pete all the time that the body gets you in trouble.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And
then he said, look. Then he said, but I don't want to hurt nobody.
Yeah, well, come on now.
But I don't see nothing wrong.
Thinking with the little head.
That's it.
With the little head, man.
And so then we get women and the guys, some of them to say this, Toby. Well, these was hot little girls, hot and ass. Okay, I don't know if they was, I don't know if they wasn't. But let's say hypothetically, they all were. Did that give R. Kelly the right to still violate them? Anybody can answer. Don't y'all answer at the same time. Anybody can. I answer for you. No, it did not.
I'll say this. I saw a video the other day where I forgot where it was, but it showed a video of a lady being assaulted. Mm-hmm. She was walking down the street and a guy walked up and touched her on the butt.
I saw that.
And when she hit him, think about it. Like, that's why I said people use situations to justify certain things. And it's like, I have heard people say, oh, she shouldn't be wearing them type of clothes. She know the kind of attention she attract and everything like that. Like, that doesn't give a person the right to violate you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because a person is dressed a certain way, or because, you know what I'm saying? Like, that does not. And just like I said, we all know that, just like I said, I've been in a situation where I was that age and I did stuff where I thought I was grown, but I wasn't grown. Mm-hmm. I wasn't grown, and that's just what it is. Like, we see kids now, you know what I'm saying, do crimes, that get them threw away at a young age when they're young. You know what I'm saying, and we'll go to war for them rightfully and say they were too young to just throw them away. You know what I'm saying? They still a child. You don't know, the full story. You don't know the background, the mental that led them into a life like that, or whatever. They are too young to just throw away. And this same thing, applies when you look at these girls, regardless of what we might feel they was or how we might, feel they acted. If it was anybody else, it's no different. You took advantage of somebody that wasn't fully developed mentally, you know what I'm saying, regardless of what, because that was a teenager. And that's the whole point of having those laws in place to say when even because we think we old enough to drink and smoke. Mm-hmm. At whatever age we want to, but laws are put in place to protect them. You can't buy cigarettes at a certain age. You can't buy, alcohol at a certain age. You're not old enough to make those type of decisions, and that's just what that is. So that law is in place to the point where they are not, able by law to make their decisions to have sex.
And so we will protect you. Queen says one of his managers tried to back out of testifying. Has the one that took Aaliyah and R. Kelly to get married. And but you know what? Here's the thing. Going back to some of the things you just ended with. R. Kelly could have had anyone on the planet, any woman,
There it is.
any
There it
woman
is.
on the planet.
Yes.
But
Yes.
he chose to get the little girls on the tricycles and the skateboards and was still playing jacks and shit. R. Kelly had the world's attention. We liked him. We respected him. And when somebody is looking up to you, if somebody is believing in you, one thing you never do, you never let them down. And R. Kelly let all of us down in a sense because these girls that idolized him, wasn't nothing wrong with them doing that. They loved his music. That's cool. But he violated them when they had nothing but respect for him. And he knew if they got to meet him, they would do this and they would do that because that was R. Kelly. R. Kelly was guilty then, and R. Kelly is guilty now. It's just as simple as that. And every time you ask R. Kelly about an allegation, it's like asking Donald Trump about it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Wasn't me. What's that guy named Shaggy or whatever had the song out? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Mm-hmm. And so I mean, you got to look at. You can even put the children aside. Then look at the grown women that he violated. And even when they consent to sex. But a lot of things I know they didn't consent to doing sex. He just started doing the shit. And this is R. Kelly. I ain't gonna stop. That wasn't there. It wasn't too bad, girl. I mean, because we're trying to please him. They wanted to be in his world. And where R. Kelly is at now, Toby, it is the world that R. Kelly created.
I still say, like I said with the grown women, I had plans at one time of having a harem of women. So I don't knock him for the older women.
Exactly.
You know, I don't knock him. You know what I'm saying? Because like, hey, he did his thing. As long as, just like I said, the against your will part, anything that's against somebody's will, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know because just like I said, I hear the stories of people being held captive. Mm-hmm. And I hear, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Like, I hear being chained in the basement or, you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff to where you can't leave. And that's always the gray area with me. Like, did you have free reign to leave? You know what I'm saying? Like, staying in the house and don't come out of the room and everything like that. Like, did you have, like the people that say, okay, well, he never took you in public. You didn't have a chance to run away and say, hey, I'm being held against my will. You know, something like that. That's for the older people. Mm-hmm. Like that's a gray area with me with the older people.
And that's one.
That's a gray area.
I want to read you what if I can find her comment. Unapologetically, me. God gave him his grace in the first trial, and he came right back and did it again.
And that's the biggest thing with me, and that's why I say, like that, like. Responsibility, culpability. Like, we know what I'm saying? Like, we bashing him. You know what I'm saying? But people are failing to realize how he got in this situation. We didn't put him in this situation. The females didn't put him in this situation. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People can't put you in situations like that continuously over and over again. Nobody can put you in situations like that over and over again. And just like I said, just like I said, whatever it was, the blessing that you received to walk out of that courtroom a free man the first time, that should have been your awakening. That should have been, you know, the awakening to say, it's time to do something different.
Exactly.
It's time to do something different. And, but you went right back to the same.
I think it was someone just said, I don't know who it was. I apologize. So they said that don't forget that they were also trained on pleasing R. Kelly. And I think Pace brought that up too, that she was told what to do and what not to do. So if you go back to what you talked about, the circumstantial evidence, let's go back to his studio in Chicago. Now, I think he went against the zoning codes because that's a business and it wasn't supposed to have a bedroom in it. But he designed that, and the people that owned it didn't know anything about it. So I know you work late hours and stuff, but with you, what you have been accused of, why would you have a bed in there? I'm sure you get tired, you want to lay down and stuff, but with you, with what you have been accused of, you're keeping things, you're keeping a black eye on yourself and you don't even know it.
And that's it. And like I said, like and I think a lot of people are having, you know what I'm saying, the hardest time, like me. Like you say, he's illiterate, and you bring up that kind of stuff and all of this, but like the dude musically was a genius, but like you didn't have common sense. You didn't have common sense to where, okay, I'm allowing myself to continue. If you were put in those situations, were you that illiterate or whatever to the point where you kept allowing yourself to be put in situations by the people around you that put you in? No, I'm not buying that, because even if somebody stood there and put the camera in there unknowingly, like you did what was on the camera, you did that. Even if somebody snuck a camera in there that was a hidden camera or whatever thing, like, bro, that was you on the camera and you did that. We can't deny that.
That's it.
Anybody that deny that, hey, good luck with that.
That's good it. You know, some people, well, not all, but some people will believe what they want to believe. If you say something in his defense, then I tell you, okay, well, you can believe what you want to believe, but in a court of law, the burden of proof must come forth, and now it's on the state and the feds to prove their case. And as you and I talked earlier today, usually in the middle part towards the end, that's when the prosecutor, gets a little harder there and stuff and more damaging information. But they came out swinging hard on R.Kelly.
The one thing about it, that people that the young people, y'all have to realize, y'all know nothing about this, but them VHS tapes, you can't Photoshop them. That's some throwback VHS. You can't
go in there.
You can't Photoshop
it out and put a grown.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't. He can't say nobody Photoshop them or put them in the video. Them VHS, baby. Them VHS.
They ain't ready for 2021. They got to stay the way they are. You're right. You can't Photoshop that shit, But
them can't be tampered with.
I mean, we're gonna get off into some more things tomorrow night. We never get to speak on everything we wanted to speak on doing a show with R.Kelly, because there's so much there, There's so much there, But everything that's there is damaging to R.Kelly. And I'm gonna ask you this, Toby, because I don't know the answer. Why do you think, even with all the evidence that's coming out, so many people still see R.Kelly as the victim?
Because we brainwashed right now. Like we like I was saying the last show, we got to the point where we lump everything in as an attack on black people. And we get defensive. We are naturally defensive in this, especially this day and age, because we are in the mind frame with everything that's going on in the news, with the police, with the Me Too movement, with everything. It's like everybody is aiming at us. And I feel that. I feel we are, we targeted. And the movements that's going on, I don't associate with no particular movement, because I know they've been, swayed and moved with the money. And, we don't, go into that. But I'm all for, pro-black unity. I'm all for all of that. But in order for us to really unify, we have to be willing to call a spade a spade. We have to be willing to, recognize and understand when we do wrong, we got to be held accountable. But the thing about it is, we've given, like, we go back to what we talked about before with Dr. Martin Luther King. We went back into their system. Mm-hmm. Remember that we wanted to go back into their system. So when we wanted to go into their system and not create our own, we put ourselves in a system to be judged by them. And this is the end result. That's why, by nature, us being the lowest on the totem pole, we get treated the worst in court. That's been going on forever. But until we start stepping up to say, okay, since we know this and we know I'm going to get more time than this race or this, then we have to be better about how we handle our business. We can't go in like we blind. This has been happening forever. We got to quit going in like we blind. And then once our people choose to make those mistakes and choose to make those choices and decisions, we have to hold them accountable. And just like I said, he can't be judged by a jury of his peers because just like I said, they biased because they're on the where they trying to tear all black men down. Like we participating in something, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't participate in. It's like everybody being accused of doing something to him, like he didn't participate in what he being accused of. And like we have to stop that. We have to stop that.
Not Michael. Mike Epps said something one time about blacks and cops, but it can really be applied to this situation and others. We have to stop putting ourselves in predicaments to have an encounter with the police or with the justice system.
Exactly. But that's you think about it now, just like what Hillary Clinton said back in the days about blacks being super predators. Could this not be a situation, if it's true what they're saying about them, it's not a situation that where it's a super predator? But then we're gonna say, okay, well, it's their fault because they trying to tear him down because he a black man. No, a black man in that position who's been put in that pedestal by his people, you should never get that point where you shit on your people like that.
Come on.
Or if you did, you should have been man enough to say, hey, I made a mistake. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I made a mistake, but you played the game and you bamboozled people and you felt like you was untouchable and you could bamboozle the world. And now, since that's the feds, they said, okay, you shitted on us in court, but like we're gonna watch you in front of your people, the same people that supported you and believed in you, and you bamboozle in court underhandedly, like we're gonna expose you in front of them. And just like I said, we as a people have to start recognizing, man, like, okay, we were bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? We need to better choose our people, and we need to start holding our musicians, basketball players. We need to hold them more accountable from us.
Exactly. But and when we don't, in so many ways, we are continue to enable them to keep doing what they're doing. And I totally agree with the last part of that. That if he'd have came out and said, "I did it, I was wrong, I need help," I would respect him more. But you keep it. If you got 112 charges against you, Kelly, you saying all of these are lies? It just can't be. And keep in mind, we don't know what all the feds have, but I honestly believe, as far as evidence, be it circumstantial or not, Toby, it's going to get worse for Kelly as days go by. And I believe the defense are probably going to start to trying to put down the women and stuff. They lied, they was groupies or whatever and stuff. Okay, well, however you want to look at it, I just want to know, did that still give R.Kelly the right to violate any damn body?
And that's the thing about it, because just like I said, people put him in a position of power. And just like I said, think about it. Like, even though he told you he was a sex fiend, he been telling you his whole career. But just like I said, to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, the people who supported him, you know what I'm saying, should feel betrayed though, because it's like when all this come out and you have to face the fact that, yeah, this guy did this, and I know that all the underhanded this guy do to keep on doing this. It's like, dude, like, not like, as a black man, like you disrespected, man. You shouldn't have put us in this light with the white folks. So the white folks, because we have always said that was a white crime, child molesting and rape and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like he and like you said, as a people, we got to start holding our people accountable, for real. Not giving a pass. And just like I said, when the system that we under grabs them and tries them, you know what I'm saying? And we supposed to support, because most of the black people came to support them. And look what happened. If it come out that it's true, every black person that support him should feel like, that's messed up. I really thought dude was innocent. I really thought they was, railroading dude or whatever. But dude been doing this the whole time. Like, dude, nah, that's disrespectful. Like, no, especially a person in power. Just like we hold any of these preachers, anybody accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he shouldn't get no pass. Like, if you're gonna give him a pass, then you got to give everybody a pass.
That's it. So because we can't say we stand for some justice, but at the other end of the stick, we don't believe in it. We believe it's wrong. Either you're for justice or you're not. It's just as simple as that. We can't cherry pick which people we want to be guilty or should go to jail. There's a lot riding against R. Kelly. I mean, a lot riding against R. Kelly. So if you're for what's right, then you have to be for what's right all the way across the board and stuff. I still listen to R. Kelly music, but R. Kelly let the people down. But we know he didn't do it by himself. We know that he couldn't have done it by himself. So I'm probably going to say this every night till the trial is over. I still believe all those that was involved, if I want his entourage, they should be tried too. There should be no deals for them because Toby, this went on for decades.
Yeah,
And here's what's worse than what we know about what we know about now. What about other victims that will never ever come forth?
Exactly, and that's just like I said. It's just like the politician, the black politician. You know what I'm saying? Who take the money? You know what I'm saying? And steal money. And just like I said, the first thing he want to say is, "Oh, they trying to do away with me, or they trying to handle me rough because I'm black." When the white man did it, and like we'll take that bait and why he didn't get as much time as him. We gotta no, for real. I'm just saying we have to stop that as black people because we not holding our black men accountable. Like think about it. Like he was never a role model to me, but as a black male after a certain age, you should be a role model, man. You should know that people are watching me.
Right. I want to read this quick comment that somebody just got my attention. It's Patricia Hodges. She says, "Mr. Scott, please read my message above." And her message above says, "I just got a message that R. Kelly fainted in court today when Azariel told what she had to say on YouTube." Oh my! So he fainted in the courtroom.
I would too, because think about it. I'm untouchable, and that I guess, and sitting in there like that, sitting in that courtroom, you know what I'm saying? Having been in jail 2 years, and just like I said, to come face to face with all that again, and they start from the beginning, and you realizing you have to sit through and listen to all that, man. I would have like it couldn't take it. Like it's real right now. It's just like I said. He realizing I just pulled the lid down on the washing machine. I just gotta go along with the ride. Like it's like, yeah. I wouldn't. Man, you remember how Suge Knight deteriorated? I hate to say that about him. You know what I'm saying? But you remember how he went to court and went in. He was cool, and they started talking about that time. And think about it. I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing about that. People don't understand. The most damning thing about this whole thing is the shock, the lifestyle change. R. Kelly went from being on top of the world to like in a cell. And just like I said, Mr. Untouchable might have fooled himself thinking they can't touch me. But and even though he been sitting up in there, it's like, I beat the last trial. My lawyer's talking good because they always talk good. You know that. Yeah, when you paying them. Yeah. So he might have actually thought, but like if that might have been reality setting in, because when Suge, I get at some point, reality set in and he started deteriorating like fast. He got older real fast. And
totally. I can't share it, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking at. Maybe I can see how long it. Okay, well.
He passed out, and so did the judge. This all news, man. But the saddest part about it, let me just show y'all this.
Okay, I don't see it on that. That's a video that someone is doing on YouTube that says R. Kelly fainted in court. They had a picture up of him on the ground. I don't know if it's true or not. I can't.
No, they let no cameras in. They probably took the court orders probably.
But no, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it. It's not the court artist. It's just a picture of R. Kelly. So I mean, I got to see if it's true or not. But because we all know that there's no cameras in there, or whatever. But if it had,
I'm saying though, like think about it. The realization that it's over. Like think about it. Like that. I know 2 years is. Oh man. Do you hear that? Y'all get down. Hold on. Get down. It's a live shootout right here.
Over at your place?
Mm-hmm.
Only in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Get down, man. Get down. Shreveport. It was a live shootout just now. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing about it. Like it's hectic. I would have fainted too.
Okay, somebody says no, it's not true. Today wasn't her day to I don't know what she's talking about, but we do I don't know that somebody didn't testify today. I don't know who they're speaking of. I think they're talking to one another and stuff. The RICO charge and stuff. So okay, and tomorrow we'll deal with the vet bill and the main act, or maybe Monday since tomorrow's Saturday we're going to try to do something else. We'll look deep off into the charges that R.Kelly are charged with and why he's charged with all of those charges. In the federal case, we'll break them all down. Probably Monday. No, not Monday. I'm glad I said Monday though before we got here. Toby and I always try to bring you a show to where anybody can tell the news. Anybody can tell the news, but there are some that tell the news, and at the same time, they're trying to bring about a change within the system, within the world, within the community. And so we did a show a few weeks ago about a pastor from Magnolia who was sentenced to 75 years. Pastor Ronald Mitchell was sentenced to 75 years for sexual assaulting a 15-year-old girl. We had his wife on our show, her sister, one of the alleged victims who said it didn't happen, and a guy, I don't know what his part is to the family yet. Jamie was on a few months ago, and then they called a few weeks ago, and that's when Toby and I said we'll go ahead and do another one. They called next time they come back on the show. But what they didn't know this time is we had did a little more digging this time, and we didn't tell them everything that we had, because had we done that, we knew they wouldn't come on the show. So it wasn't planned, but there were some people that called in that had firsthand information on exactly what happened. And one of those individuals was the pastor's niece. And she's coming back on the show this Monday, because, we don't do shows on Monday. The show is going to be this Monday. It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. rather than 7 p.m. And I don't want to go into the other names yet, but there are some more people that are coming with her. We got the message on that today. So we may announce who they are before Monday, and we may not. It's a show that I wish everybody here on our live feed tonight would watch. And we're going to be as respectful as we can because of the allegations and stuff. But I also think if you don't want your kids to watch the show, then that's fine. But hopefully after the show, you will sit them down and tell them about warning signs when someone is trying to do something to them that they shouldn't be doing to them. I think Toby said the other night, if they tell you, if Uncle such and such give you some candy and some money and tell you don't tell your mama, then there's a reason why don't you tell your mama. I mean, that's nothing wrong with you having money, So, but this guy had been doing this for years and years. And his niece called in that night, and there was another lady that was into the message that she keep telling the people that they were lying. They were lying. He did this, he did that, and stuff. So one person even said, well, he's just in jail for 75 years for doing absolutely nothing. Ronald Mitchell, and I'm sure Toby would agree to this, that wasn't a church. That was a cult. Toby was the first somebody I heard say it, that was a black Jim Jones. And that's exactly what he was and is. So we're bringing them, the niece back on, Samantha and some other people, next Monday at 3:30. At 6:30 live. 6:30. So if Toby want to go into some more details of what happened when they first called in, or what to look for Monday night.
Basically, like I said, he's already been convicted and he's already doing his time. But in these cases, like, we get focused on the predator so much to the point where we don't focus on the victim and how they ended up in this situation, how it was able to happen. And that's what I really want to get into, because I think the public, that's more informational or educational to the public than just us harping on the predator. He's locked away now. He has 75 years. But if we can talk to the people involved and they can help, with some warning signs, or, some of the things that they fail to see, or, didn't see in the beginning, maybe it could help somebody else to not end up in this situation, or help somebody that's currently going into this situation, maybe, see it earlier and save these kids, because it's study the kids, man. And it's like, it's bad enough when they had to get us away from the kids, but now they are convincing us to bring the kids to them. And like, we worried about the Boy Scouts and all of that, where we send our kids to. And it's like, Scott's going down outside. Just seen the flashing lights. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get so caught up in like that, we losing our kids. We losing our kids for real.
And it goes right back to R.Kelly with what Pace said he made her do, to put her hair in pigtails and dress like a Girl Scout, especially during sexual intercourse. You think about how serious that is right there. He wants her to dress like a little girl. And most of the time, that's how he preferred it, doing sex. But some people still can't see R. Kelly as committing a crime. You don't have to be there to see it. Some things you can just pick up, common sense and intelligence. I may not want it to be true, but he did it. He did it. You can't make him not be what he is. He knew he needed help years ago. He told it to his attorney. But telling it to his attorney and admitting it don't do a damn thing if you don't get the help that you need. So why didn't R. Kelly get help? Because he didn't want no help. He loved it. And if he was free today, I'm a firm believer that he would, I hear him coming out to it, he would probably be doing the exact same thing. And so with that being said, two things. Don't forget Monday night at 6:30. If you want to know the truth about R. Kelly, here it is right now. R. Kelly is exactly where he needs to be tonight, in a jail cell. That's just it. That's it. It's as simple as that. Toby, I'm going to give you the last words and we're going to get out of here.
I just want to say thank y'all for joining us. And like I said, we have to, as Black men, we have to start holding ourselves accountable, and people have to start holding us accountable. And we have to start being who we say we are and doing what we say we're going to do. And that's the only way, that we're going to bring our people out of this darkness. It's that type of stuff divide people and it lead people in the darkness. And that's not what we need. So I appreciate y'all for watching tonight, and y'all have a good night.
As always, I'm not always right. You're not always wrong. Be the Lord willing, we will see you tomorrow night, I think. But I know on Monday, is that the 23rd?
Yeah, I think it's 23rd.
Okay, 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Please, this is going to be a show that I think you all will, need to hear and see. So spread the word for us if you can. Remember, I love you. I'm Al Scott. Y'all have a good night.